Hello, how's everybody doing? I was just thinking, what would I do? Okay, first of all, it was like this song I did. It was, Whitney Houston's song goes, if the Lord asks me what I did with my life, I would say I spent it with you. And then I was thinking about, when I was a Jehovah Witness, I wouldn't even know how to answer that question. I mean, when I was a Jehovah Witness, and if God came and said, what did you do with your life? Or what are you doing with your life? I mean, I wouldn't even know how to answer it. And this is the point where it's getting at. I'm getting to see what's happened, what actually happened. And sometimes it's best not to know what happened, because I got another video coming that's, right now, this is a short one because I'm getting ready to go. And I have to do it now, but the other one is going to be like the horrific things that happen to you when you leave your Jehovah Witnesses. But this one, I didn't know how to fit it in. And it's just like something small, I guess. But it's a big point. It's about what are you doing with your life, I mean, if you're a Jehovah Witness, and because of this talking and things like this in the station, I can understand, I can see things clear to where I wouldn't see anything. And it's funny because as a Jehovah Witness, you don't see a lot of things because there's nothing there. That's another point I was making, because how did I figure that one out? There's nothing there. Oh, I was watching this, What Would You Do? It's like Candid Camera. When we were old, when the 60s, they had Candid Camera. This one is What Would You Do? And they put you in these situations, these people in the situation that have hidden cameras. And this one was where two ladies were they were spiking this guy's drink, and somebody saw them. And what would you do? Was funny because this girl, these two girls, and they had this older guy, and they spiked his drink when he left. And these people asked him, what are you putting in his drink? And one girl said something, which this is what got me, was that she said something that didn't make any sense, because I was looking at the caption, because they had to put it on caption, So they put on caption because sometimes you can't hear because there's so many people in a restaurant, and they put it on caption what she said, and you know what? She didn't say anything. I mean, she was saying words, but she didn't mean, and it didn't mean anything. They said, what are you doing to his drink? And she goes, I'm forward to not to rely on that. Like that, okay? I'm forward to not to rely on that. Or else she could say, to put in the place of not being there. Like that. It doesn't mean anything. And then I was thinking, that's what it is. I mean, some of the things you learn as a Jehovah's Witness, it doesn't mean anything, it doesn't have any meaning whatsoever. So now getting back to what I did with my life, okay, that's what I'm saying, there's nothing there. I mean, we're trying to make things, excuses for, what's there. But there's no excuses because there's nothing there, which is really, really sad. So to ask someone what I did with my life, to ask me as a Jehovah Witness what I did with my life, and it's a very serious question. And I would say what should I do with my life? I wouldn't even know how to answer it. It's very sad. I wouldn't know how to answer it. So, it's sad because first of all, you don't really have a life. You don't have a life. That's another thing I'm working on too, is a third party. I didn't know I was going to do this one, so I'm sorry I'm giving it to the, so, I got another one that's coming up. It's going to be on a third party. The third party is the one in between the Jehovah Witnesses and the ex-Jehovah Witnesses. So we're looking for that one too. So anyway, so not knowing what your life is. They don't know what their life is. And I know this because my sister, I have family in a Jehovah Witness. And I know that they wouldn't be able to answer that question because you know your brothers and sisters so well. And my last thing my one sister said was, I'm going to stay with Jehovah. And I kept trying to make Jehovah be this person or this thing or this thing. But now I can see, because I keep developing this, that it's nothing. Most likely it's nothing. It could be like this, it could be like that, but it's nothing. Think about it. So he asked me, so God asked me what I did with my life, like in that song. If the Lord asked me what I did with my life, I would say I spent it with you. Okay, but the thing about it is that I got a telephone call. No, it's not a telephone call. This is on the other phone. 1 second, okay? I don't like to leave. It's right here. Oh, I'm sorry. So anyway, it wasn't a telephone call. It was I have an alarm that comes off at 6:40 every time. But anyway, that's another thing. So not being able to know what you're doing. And like if I ask my sister, do you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? These are questions that are coming up to me now because I'm seeing the impact of the things that happen. One thing that we got as that's sad about the ex-Jehovah Witnesses is that a lot of times they can't express what's wrong or what they're doing or what happened. But like we're doing now, we're figuring that out, which is pretty powerful, which the ones I got coming up now. So anyway, so now I'm thinking like how sad it is, how sad it would have been if I couldn't answer a question like, who are you? Or what are you doing with your life, you know? What could I say as a Jehovah Witness? I'm going out in service, okay? I'm going out in service. Well, like, what is service, you know? Well, it's something I'm doing to go into the new system. And what's the new system? There's nothing there. That's what I came up with. I can see clearly, and it's developing. All those definitions and stuff, I try and make for them. And I can't even believe it, or we can't even believe it. So we try and make up all these things about what they're worshiping. First of all, the number one thing I want to bring out is that there's a third party. But now we're talking about ex-Jehovah Witness and Jehovah's Witness. So there's nothing there. I really, literally would not be able to say anything because there's nothing there. And maybe that's why God would ask me that, just to show me myself, you know, what are you doing? And I think he would ask that anyway, more so to a Jehovah Witness because they're not with him, you know? And just think about that one simple question. Like, where are you? I mean, like, what are you doing What are you doing with your life? And the people, the ones that Jehovah Witnesses know their family and know the Jehovah Witnesses, what could they say? The only thing they could say was, I'm going out in field service, I'm studying. They know they don't study. They wouldn't even be able to say, I'm studying the Bible. They would not be able to say. What Jehovah Witness is studying the Bible? They're going to the meetings, but they're not really studying the Bible. If they ask God, well, you're studying the Bible, then they would say, well, he would say, you're studying the Bible? How are you studying the Bible? You know what I mean? And they would go, because I already know they're not studying the Bible. I mean, you can read the Bible, but how can you study the Bible if the information is closed to you? Because they can't really study the Bible because they can't study their roots. They can't study the roots of the organization. So they wouldn't really have a question for that. They're studying the Bible. And then they would have to, they can't study the Bible because the thing about it is, I just study how they make a Bible and how the Bible